afternoon and welcome to Mo Sports. I just had a funny thought as the show began. I thought to myself, imagine if we were all like footballers and before we did our own work, we just stood there and did this a little bit. They lined us up at work and they let us, do the things. What work do you do and what would you be caught doing just before work? I wonder, what our accountants would be doing, what doctors would be doing. Before he touches you, he's there like this. I'd be so happy. Dude, pray. This is my life we're playing with. Welcome to Mo Sport. My name is Mo. This is OB.KNOWS. And you're joining us right at the right time because it's a Saturday, it's a weekend special, and we're about to bring you all things football. Well, right now it's a very interesting weekend because not only local action has a lot of highlights, but international action has a lot of highlights too. OB.KNOWS will be covering that just now. But let me take you through the Mo riddle. Don't forget the number is 071 621 4746 for you to submit your answer. The Mo riddle today goes as follows. It says, deep breath, everybody. Hang back, hold on. You ready? Okay. It says, I'm a South African international whose career started in 1993 at Jomo Cosmos. I played in Chile and Turkey before debuting for Orlando Pirates and Mamelodi Sundowns. Who am I? Hey, a lot of you are disputing sing. But I'm printing that I saved you. Deputizing says Roar is in the lungs. So don't forget, the number is 071 621 4746. OB.KNOWS, what should people look forward to on today's show?
Well, simply the best of content, or football content. We'll be kicking it off with hearing what the coaches have been saying ahead of that Nedbank Cup final. We want to hear what Vladislav Heric and Dylan Kerr have been saying in the press conferences which were happening yesterday. And we'll also be looking at the Burak Yilmaz party, which happened in League when he got the brace in yesterday's game. But not only that, we'll be also looking at the fact that Luis Suarez will be returning for the first time against his former club, and we look to see what does he have in store for Barcelona later on tonight. But for now though, we'll kick it off with the Nedbank Cup.
Welcome back. Well, if I told you the Nedbank Cup final in 2020-2021 season would see Chippa United face TTM, especially with all the drama and all the headlines that they've made for all the wrong reasons, you'd have been like, Mo, you must be crazy. Well, I and the rest of this country are crazy because that is the final, and those are the two teams that are going head to head. One actually last season didn't actually even exist, but right now they are there in that final. OB.KNOWS. Let's talk about the two coaches involved. OB.KNOWS. First and foremost, let's talk about Dylan Kerr. I'm excited to talk about Dylan Kerr for the first time because I was there typing his name out on a search engine and it's like tattoo. I'm like,
He's the Barocca one. You see it?
I was like, tattoo? What is this? So Dylan Kerr throughout his career, he's been every time he's won a trophy or did something significant, he's always gotten a tattoo of the team. When he saved Black Leopards from relegation, he was like, I wanted a tattoo, but his tattoo artist in Polokwane was sick, so he had to wait until the tattoo artist did recover, then he got the tattoo finally. So OB.KNOWS, will he be adding another one to the collection?
Well, look, it's another team in Limpopo for him, that he's coaching. Whether he'll be adding another tattoo, I think, should he win today's game, which I really think that, he stands a chance to. I think he will definitely get a tattoo. But this is what he had to say yesterday ahead of, this final. He says, every game I have a headache of the squad to pick and never mind the starting 11. But now I am going to have the biggest migraine to pick that starting 11 because we know some players are not going to play and others will not even get the strip. And obviously that's him referring to the fact that, he's got so many players that, the changing in the squad since he's been there. There has been a lot of changes in terms of his starting 11s, the formations that he's been changing. But one thing I did realize is that he likes playing with a holding midfield, with only one holding midfielder. So we're yet to see if that's going to be the same case tonight with a Chippa United side that's going to come, with the full four men in the midfield. So we'll wait and see what's going to happen in terms of, the midfield battle. But I do think that, in terms of the quality, he has the players, although some of them haven't shunned the way we thought they would, like Mohako Loringele, a player which I praised at the beginning of this season, a player that I thought would be very integral to TTM this season. But he hasn't been, in the party quite recently. But there are some other players who have obviously, stepped up, like they say, like the likes of, Thabo Mnyamane as well as Rachel. There are players that have been stepping up for TTM. So we'll wait and see if that's going to be the same case today. But I do think that he does indeed have a migraine, selecting who he will start in today's game.
All right, let's talk about the next coach also involved in this game. His name is Heric, and OB.KNOWS, I do wonder, will he join the likes of Stuart Baxter, Roger De Sa, coaches that have won the Nedbank Cup? Will he be now counted amongst those big names?
Well, Vladislav Heric is a coach that has been in and around, South African football for quite some time. Also, actually, this should be the Black Leopards derby because both these coaches have actually coached Black Leopards, and Heric is a coach that has had vast experience in the PSL. tell. And this is what he had to say yesterday. I like the fact that Eastern Cape never had a representative in a cup final before, and it's a great opportunity for us to give them that cup and to celebrate with the people here. We are all playing for them, and we are all trying to win this for them. And obviously, he's also excited, to be to be in a position where he can actually bring CAF football into, the Eastern Cape. So it will be very interesting to see if Vladislav Haric can write himself in such big history. I mean, yes, the likes of, Stuart Baxter won it with the likes of Kaizer Chiefs, but this is a chance for him to win it with a team that has completely been the underdog in the entire season. So it will be very interesting to see, if he's going to be successful. But these are two coaches who have a lot on the line for this game. I mean, besides this, they also have, the worries of keeping their teams up in the PSL for next season. So we wait and see who is actually going to prevail. But it's a very, very interesting final to look forward to.
All right, don't forget that Stuart Baxter has 2 titles in this competition, so that's why we mentioned him, because he actually has 3. There's 2 with Super Sports and 1 with Kaizer Chiefs. And OB knows it's time for us to go to the website so we can make the bet when it comes to this fixture, because we have to put our money where our mouth is. And I bet you at home are wondering, how do we then make this possible? Well, we SMS Super TV to 30978, and once we've done that, then we get a link in return. We start the whole registration process and get ourselves a $50 sign-up bonus in the process. Let's go to the website. OB knows, let's make it happen, because you saw a little bit of Formula 1 action right there in the center screen, but let's go focus on the soccer. Let's go to soccer. Wait, go to Price Boost before we go to soccer. Maybe there's something there for us. Something there. Let's go. Price Boost, soccer. That's what we get in. Okay, never mind. Say soccer. Just go to soccer. It's fine.
I just say soccer.
Yeah, just go to soccer, because Price Boost is not showing us the things. They're showing us Dortmund and Leipzig, which we'll be discussing a little later on. So, where is it? South Africa.
What's this? Tajikistan.
Yeah, go to South Africa, Obi knows. Yes.
But why is Tajikistan at the top?
Don't worry, we are here to focus, Obi knows. Don't get distracted. We are here to make the money. Now, I say the champions in this time will be Chippa United. But Obi knows is going to a whole different direction. He say TTM. So what we're going to do is we're going to vote. Obi knows. We should open up a poll and vote. We have a WhatsApp line. We have people that are at home that want to interact with us that probably have a better answer than what we do. So who do you think will win the Nedbank Cup? If you know the answer, like I said, the number is 071 6214 746. Just say Chippa or just say TTM. You don't need to disclose who you are if you feel like you're anonymous, because the anonymous ones are always the ones that get it very right. So let's move on to international football by going to Germany. All right, so you must be very confused like I was when I found out that Dortmund is facing Leipzig. I thought it wasn't going to be the DFB Pokal, This is not the DFB Pokal?
It's not. This is actually the final before the final. So you can say it's, when you have pre-drinks before you go to a party. This is a pre-game, but because it's going to be hot.
It's a young sentiment, that one. Someone's father sitting at home is like, he no more pre-drinks. He no more pre-drinks. His father's like, hey, pre-drinks are for broke people, Obi knows.
What do you mean?
Those are those people that go to the club with 3 ships in the car, and they're sitting there inside a Tez, and they're drinking 3 ships, and they go inside and they only drink Castle.
Now our pre-drinks are different, my guy. Completely
you
different.
Sure? You sure? Maybe it's even first watch. Me, I'm putting you there. But it's here, boy. And first watch.
You say 18-18. There's a situation. But anyway,
that one is the first tick, you out.
Then you handle like 2 or 3 players inside. But nonetheless, this is a big game because it's big for Dortmund, to say the least. I mean, they're the ones who are sitting outside of that Champions League spot. As you can see, it's the final before the final, because these two face off once again on the 13th, which is next week Thursday, in the final of the DFB Pokal. But this one is the final because it's just as important for Dortmund as next week. I mean, they're sitting outside the top 4 spots. A win can get them, a bit closer to, their end goal, because like we did say, earlier on this season, towards the end of the season, that, Haaland doesn't want to stay at a club which doesn't have, Champions League football next year. So it will be very important for Dortmund to take this game serious and the next one very seriously, because also silverware, I think silverware, keeps a player running, because, you're thinking to yourself, okay, we've won something this season, hopefully next season we can win another. But I'm definitely sure that, should they not get that Champions League spot, it would be very tricky for Haaland to stay, but at least they'll be able to keep, some of the players there. Some of the players will remain happy because of silverware. But nonetheless, it's going to be a very important game for Borussia Dortmund today.
All right, we're saying a lot of things right now, but let's carry on and find out what the coach of Bayern Munich, Hansi Flick, thinks about this record that's been held by Gerd Müller for a couple of decades now. He thinks Robert Lewandowski can get it done with three games of the season to go. Do you share the sentiment? I'm almost at that place where I want to make a bet and say that Lewandowski gets injured and this record stands.
Again?
I think he gets injured and the record stands. I think maybe he gets 9 goals and Thomas is like, hey, no, And then, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, I don't think that happens. I really think, I don't really believe that he'll get it. I mean, especially if it's on his mind. I think what he's been playing free-flowing football. He's not under pressure for anything. And I think with his coach coming out and saying, he believes that Lewandowski can get it, I think it weighs a bit more pressure on him. Yes, he's a player who's played at the highest level of the game, but I do think that such expectations. I mean, it's a big record. It's a record that has stood for almost 60 years now. So I do think that over 30 years, and I do think that should he be feeling this pressure, he might just fumble a little bit. But we'll wait and see. I mean, they create a lot of chances. Bayern Munich is always finding himself in the right spaces, and with about 3 games left, only needing 4 goals, we've seen him score like 3 goals and 4 goals in one game. So it's really possible for him to do it.
But you realize how much of a beast Gerd Müller was. I mean, if you look at that man's history, that man is one of the few players, in fact, not only player to have gotten the golden boot in the league, went on to go play in the World Cup, got the golden boot in that World Cup, went on to the Euro, got the golden boot in that Euro. That man was one hell of a player. I mean, to score 40 goals in that era, in that time, I understand that formations were different back then. There was no traditional back fours. There was probably like a back one with like 2 fullbacks, and who were flying up and down the pitch with 2 players protecting him. But back then, this guy was a beast of a player. If you don't know Gerd Müller, just go on your search engines and find out who he was and how he made this record in one season. I mean, it's 40 goals in one season, and that's in the league alone, without cups, without 40 goals in the league alone. That man was one hell of a beast. He was the Ronaldo of his time, the Messi of his time. He was just an exceptional player. And I think as much as this record will be broken, if Lewandowski gets there, I feel like there's a lot more records that he holds that he personally, even his family would say no, but he's been one hell of a player throughout his playing career. So now let's move on. Let's go to the website, because first of all, I'll show you what's happening in German football. Then we'll make our bets and see if we have the kahunas to actually get the monies and get these results correct. So as you can see, Bayern Munich sitting top of the table, they're sitting on 71 points, with Leipzig sitting on 64, Wolfsburg on 57, and Frankfurt on 56. Like Obino said, if Dortmund get this one right and beat Leipzig, they'll be going at least a chance to leapfrog Frankfurt, depending on who Frankfurt will be playing. So Obino, let's go to see the fixtures and see who Frankfurt is facing, and then we'll make up our mind from there to see if it might be a reality. So as you can see, Stuttgart beat Augsburg. That was last night at 8:30. And as you can see, Dortmund play Leipzig today. Come 3:30. So those times when you call your group. Back in the day, we used to send them letters. Baby, I'm kidding. There was no letters. As you can see, Hoffenheim is going to be facing Schalke. Wolfsburg face Union Berlin. Werder Bremen will face Leverkusen, and then Bayern Munich will be facing Mönchengladbach. So as you can see, that game is kicking it off for today. So we'll get that result quite early and know basically the fate of these two sides by the end of the day. But not only that, Bayern Munich top of the table. They're playing Mönchengladbach today as well. So tomorrow, no big games in terms of the top half of the table. All the top half teams are playing except for Frankfurt, who are playing there tomorrow at 3:30. So who knows? Let's switch it over. Make the switcheroonies. Let's go to making the bets, because now we have to choose our struggle. So let's go down. This one is still available. Don't forget, we're asking you, who do you think will take it between Chippa United and TTM? Make sure that you send us a WhatsApp message on that 071 621 4746 number. So let's go down and go to Germany quickly. Let's go to, yes, the Bundesliga. I think now we can bet on Bayern and make a little change on who will win the Bundesliga. Let's go, I think Leipzig, but Leipzig, the coach is leaving, the key players are leaving, they really don't need this result. Yeah. And Borussia Dortmund need it more. So let's give it to Dortmund, let's give a home win to Dortmund. Let's give a home win to Hoffenheim, because Schalke is just pop right now. And also they're defending with Arsenal defenders. So let's go to Werder Bremen versus Leverkusen. I think Leverkusen will also want to stay in contention for Europe, so we can give it to them, I think. Nobody knows is thinking otherwise. It's going to be a draw. All right, then Bayern Munich want to get the title. Let's give it to them. Let's give it to them, and then let's call it a day. Let's put it away.
Wolfsburg or
Wolfsburg or Union Berlin. Nobody wants to make the bet. I'll let you take this one. I'll let you decide. Okay, you went to Wolfsburg. All right, cool. Let's see how much money we can make possibly from this bet. $100. There we go. 2.5 is what we might possibly make from that bet slip. But for now, it's time for us to take a break. When we come back, we'll come back with La Liga and Liga. And like Obino said, Luis Suarez is in action to face Barcelona, with a club where he spent most of his time as a player.
You're locked into Super TV, only on OpenView, channel 150.
Haleli mali, Joe. Now ungapopa with Super Bets. Simply SMS Super TV to 30978 and start playing.
Time to unwind as we bring Mzansi's freshest DJs to the comfort of your home. Turn up your groove with Super Beats Monday to Saturday at 6 p.m. only on Super TV Open View, channel 150. You are watching Super TV Open View, channel 150.
Welcome back to Mo Sports. While you're tuned into channel 150 on your Open View decoder at Super TV powered by Super Bets. If you're joining us on any other platform, namely Facebook and YouTube, don't forget to hit the bell notification, subscribe, and leave us a lovely comment below. Well, my name is Mo, and this is OB.KNOWS, and all we do is talk football. That's why here on Mo Sports, we are football crazy. So football crazy, in fact, that we came up with a trivia question where you can submit your answer and show us just how much football you know. But before we get into it, you can read it for yourself. Don't forget that we're also asking you an additional question. Who do you think is going to take it between Chippa United and TTM? So you can also submit your answer to the very same number I'm going to give you right now, 071-621-4746. That is the same number where you'll be submitting your answer to the Mo riddle. Now someone's at home is like, but isn't there another number? Yes, there is. It's the Super TV number where you SMS Super TV to 30978. That number is primarily used for registrations, but from time to time again, we use it for our competition. So make sure that you SMS Super TV to 30978 just in case you might get a phone call, you know what I'm saying? So now let's talk about what's happening in Spanish football, because at the moment, Luis Suarez, last time that Barcelona faced Atletico Madrid, he was unavailable, MIA, sick, flu, whatever it was. He was not about that life, but he is available. And the reason why, now you need to think about Luis Suarez's history, not the Luis Suarez from the 80s or the 60s, no, this one, the current era one. Luis Suarez is a player who played for Liverpool, played for two clubs in the Evidense, which is in the Netherlands, and he made his most appearances for Barcelona, making over 250 appearances for Barcelona, scoring over 150 goals for them in that same time. And he did make an appearance in Liverpool, but did you know that he never made an appearance in the Champions League for Liverpool? He's only made an appearance for Liverpool in the Europa League, and also when he played in Ajax, he never made a Champions League knockout phase appearance for Ajax. So Barcelona is the club where he can be considered a legend because he's done everything to do there. He's played in the Club World Cup, he's played in the Super Cup, he's done so much for that club, and now he's back and he might just haunt them.
Yeah, I thought it would have happened earlier on this season. And of course, yes, Atletico Madrid did beat Barcelona 1-0 in their last encounter without Suarez. But, I do think that he still has something against Barcelona, despite, all that you've said, that he has played, as many games as he has. But we need to remember that, there's this thing of, how he left the club. I mean, the way he left the club. I mean, you can leave a club. I mean, it's football. Players come and go. But the manner that he left the club, I think he still has something against Barcelona. And I'm pretty sure he'll want to prove himself against Barcelona today. So hopefully he will be at the top of his game, because Atletico Madrid do know how important this game is. I mean, this is their title grip. This is the grip to the top. If they win this game, and they know that they have to, because Real Madrid are playing as well tomorrow. So, they'll also be looking to get the 3 points. So it's very important for Atletico Madrid to pick up maximum points if they want to maintain that top of the table.
Well, Obino saying a mouthful right there. Let's go to the website. Let's go see basically the goal scorers from this fixture, the possible goal scorers. How many goals are they getting per match, or what is the rating for that? Basically, I don't know how to word what I'm saying, but if you get it, you get it. We both get it. Let's go to the website and find out what I'm talking about. So let's go to it, Obino. Let's go to I think we should go to the head-to-head, or go to the fixture. Then it'll take us to the head-to-head. Right there. So shortcuts, guys, but we're taking the long way because we had to decide. So there it is, Barcelona versus Atletico Madrid. You can see Cadiz and Huesca are right below them. Let's scroll down to goal scorers, and let's go see basically how the goal scorers from both these sides will be faring in this fixture. So this is how it looks at the moment. Lionel Messi, even when they're against each other, they still top of the table next to each other. So as you can see, wow, a lot of crossovers going on. I mean, Griezmann was once on the other side, Luis Suarez was once on this other side, but this is how it looks at the moment. Lionel Messi, 32 appearances with 28 goals scored. That's 0.88 goals per game ratio. Then Luis Suarez, 28 appearances, 19 goals scored, and that's 0.68 goals per match rating. So if you looked at these two players, they sit a world away from the players in their team just below them. I mean, you see Griezmann is sitting on 0.38 goals per game, while Llorente is sitting on 0.36 goals per game, and he has a whole 33 appearances, and Griezmann has a whole 32 appearances, which begs the question: if Luis Suarez was still a Barcelona man, where would Barcelona be sitting right now? Because looking at these numbers, I mean, these two players together have contributed over 40 goals. I mean, if you're just looking at this right now, without adding that 8, it's a whole 47 goals that these two guys could have put together for Barcelona this season. But Barcelona chose to let Luis Suarez go, and they have Antoine Griezmann. I mean, look at Suarez's appearances also. I mean, he had to leave because of injury and all that. But OB knows. That's my question. Let's come back to it. That's my question. Where would Barcelona be if Luis Suarez was still a Barcelona player?
Well, it's all hypothetical right now, but I do think that with Suarez there, Barcelona look like a much better side because they've got a lot more potency going forward, and I still don't know why they let him go, because what they let him go for, and Antoine Griezmann is it's pretty much they're pretty much the same player. Of course, Luis Suarez gets a whole lot more goals than Griezmann gets, but in terms of speed, in terms of getting into positions, I do think that they're not too far apart. But I do think that Luis Suarez is a much more clinical player than Antoine Griezmann, and as the numbers are showing us, they've been showing us, for the past 2 seasons. So I do think that Barcelona are slightly in a much better position with Suarez in there helping Messi get those goals.
All right, let's go back to the website. Let's continue our conversation and compare the two sides and see who's basically the favorite for this game. Let's go back to it. As you can see in the assists, let's go to the next page, which is going to be the assists. Let's see who's been getting these assists. As you can see, Lionel Messi topping the charts once again. That's 8 assists and how many goals? Wow, Messi, this is his team for real. 0.25 assists per match, with Griezmann with his 0.22 assists per match. He sits above Jordi Alba and Sergio Busquets. And Pedri, the young star that is a young star indeed, playing alongside Frankie de Jong. And there on the other side, as you can see, Angel Correa sitting just below Marcos Llorente, and they're sitting on 0.24 and 0.21 respectively. With Ander Carrasco, a Belgian player that for most times has excited a lot of football fans, but not rose to the occasion when you needed it most from him. But he's sitting on 0.23, with Kieran Trippier, once of Tottenham Hotspurs, sitting on 0.21. Also going against the norm of that English players don't leave the Premier League, but he's gone off and he's actually doing well for himself. Obinos, scroll down just a little bit. Let's see the league positions and see how it's been going this season. Both these teams have been jumping around the top 6, but as you can see, Barcelona early days enjoying that number 1 position until they dropped all the way down in match day 7 and they set in 5th, and they've just been rocketing, just bouncing up and down all over the place. Match day 9, Atletico Madrid got some stability and they've been sitting top all the way till match day 31 until they got dethroned in match day 32 by Barcelona, and then they got themselves back to the top and they've been sitting first ever since. Obinos, to the top of this page, please. Perfecto. So let's start. We don't have time to read all of this. So what we'll do is we'll read the 3 information points. Then we'll go check out what's happening elsewhere in Spanish football. So as you can see, when playing at home, Barcelona have not lost to Atletico Madrid in their last 20 encounters. Wow. So now the facts are coming to bite us now. We're getting the facts now. Lionel Messi is Barcelona's top goal scorer with 28 goals, while Luis Suarez is their top goal scorer for Atletico Madrid with 19 goals. And as you can see, Barcelona's home record this season is 11 wins, 4 draws, and 2 losses. Looking at the two teams' form, Barcelona's form is also better than Atletico Madrid's form. So, you know what, we'll leave it to you to decide basically who do you think will pick up the result in this game. But let's talk about what's happening at the bottom of the table as well. Obi knows Huesca also in action, and they get a chance maybe to jump over Valladolid or a team or two. Yeah. But they face Cadiz. Do you think that Cadiz will be able to pull off a win?
Look, Cadiz, the last time they played against Huesca, it went to Cadiz, it went Cadiz way with a 2-0 win. Alvaro Negredo, are pushing his team towards that win. So I do think that, with Cadiz playing at home, it's a bit tricky for Huesca coming into this game. I feel like they are more hungry for it, but Cadiz also don't want to slip up and fall in towards the bottom of the La Liga standings. So I do think that they'll still try and impose themselves a lot more on Huesca, but I do think Huesca will also give a game to Cadiz. So I'm just pretty much expecting a draw to come out of this game. I mean, I don't think they're 2 worlds apart. They're too far from each other. I really don't think so, but I do think that they're going to give each other a big game. So I do think maybe a draw would be sufficing for both sides.
All right, so let's continue. Let's go to French football, where OB knows is excited. He even labeled this whole section the Yilmaz party. Well, if you don't know who Burak Yilmaz is, you definitely haven't been watching French football. In fact, you definitely have not been watching Turkish football. This man is one of only 9 players to have played for the big 3 in Turkey. I'm talking about Fenerbahce, Galatasaray, and I forget the last one, Besiktas. And he's also one of 2 players to play for the big 4 in Turkish football because he signed for the big 4 in his playing career while he was still playing in Turkey. But this 35-year-old not only scores one hell of a brace, but he's now been the man inspiring this team in terms of goals. Now, it's very interesting when you think about it because right now in French football, Paris Saint-Germain dominate every stat. I'm talking about passes, I'm talking about goals scored, I'm talking about possession. They dominate everything except for one thing and one thing only. Let's go to the website. Let me show you what I'm talking about before we let OB.KNOWS come tell us the story of Burak Yilmaz, where he's come from and how he came to be. So OB.KNOWS, let's go to Lille. Let's go see how they're pulling this one off. They're chasing their 4th title, by the way, in their history. So if they get this one right, they have 4 titles to their history. As you can see, sitting top of the table with 79 points, 36 games played with PSG sitting 135. OB.KNOWS, can you please click on Lille quickly? Let's go see the numbers, how they look for them at the moment. In fact, wait, I'm doing it wrong. My bad. Can you go back to the main page, the overview page? My head was a bit confused there. Let's go past this table. Just go past all this table. Let's go to the defenses. So as you can see, like I said, PSG dominate everything. Goals scored, they're sitting there at number 1. Lille is sitting 4th right now in terms of the amount of goals they've scored this season. And then when you look at the defenses, Lille is sitting top, and that is the only stat where as a team, Lille are dominating. Which brought me back to the thought that defenses win you titles. Goals win you games. So let's put the website away. OB.KNOWS, I want to talk about this guy, Burak Yilmaz. I mean, a player that won the Golden Boot in his homeland in Turkey twice in the 2011-2012 season, 2013-2014 season, and that's the same season when he won his only league title. That was with Galatasaray. In fact, I think he won 2 with Galatasaray, if I'm not mistaken. But he's been a player he knows trophies. He's won them a couple of times. Played for the big 3. He's won a couple of Super Leagues in Turkey. He's won a couple of cups. He's won a league with Galatasaray. OB.KNOWS, he's now in the French league. He's playing ahead of Jose Font, who's the centre back next to Portman. So looking at this team, OB.KNOWS, are you not excited to see these French champions?
Look, whoa, champions. Oh my goodness, this guy's jumping towards the last week. Yeah, I guess you could say they're champions. I mean, they've been looking like champions for the longest time. I mean, they've been so consistent, over the past 6 or 7 games. And, if they slip up, it'll just be very sad to see them lose it towards the end.
Yeah.
But, Burak Yilmaz is part of such a great team. And you're speaking about the defense. And, the goalkeeper, Mike Maingan, is a goalkeeper that's been looked for all over Europe. He's very young. He's the next, possibly the next one, following Hugo Lloris. I mean, they still got, Alban Lafont in their ranks as France. They've still got Ariola in there. But I do think that Mike Maingan is one of the goalkeepers that are going to shine out in the next future. And in the near future, sorry. And, the centre-back pairing as well. Sven Botman, a defender that you spoke about, possibly heading to Liverpool, maybe not anymore. And Jose Font, a defender who's done it all, in the Premier League. He's been there, he's also won a trophy with Portugal, the national team. So he brings experience into that centre-back pairing, and I do think that, overall the team is very competitive. I mean, the midfield as well, they've got, Renato Sanchez in there, so they've got all these talents in this team, and I do think that for a team of their quality and for them to go towards the end of the season and drop it, it would really drop, their morale. So I do think that as a team that they are, they've been very consistent. I think they'll, make it towards the end, but why more, would you struggle if you have the likes of Yilmaz, who's able to get you goals in times where, you really need a goal, and he gets it for you in the first 4 minutes of the game. He scores again in this, later on in the second half towards halftime. He scores in very important, screamers of goals in very important, times of the game as well. So I do think that they've got it, under control at this point. They just need to get past the last 2 games. They need wins in those last 2 games. And with, with Burak Yilmaz in the form that he is in right now, who are we to deny them a title?
All right, the 35-year-old really coming to the party. But let's go back to the website. Let's show you the last time when this team was the bridesmaids and not the bride. So let's go see the last time they slipped up. So let's go to the website, OB.KNOWS. Let's go to the top. Let's go 2 seasons ago, and let's go see how they finished off their season then. So we scroll down, we go to when they were second place. That was in the 18-19 season. We're just going to go check how their points were looking at the time to see if there was a big gap or if they were close to the title. So as you can see, PSG had run away with it, but Lille were the best of the rest, sitting 175 points, while Lyon was sitting 172. OB.KNOWS, now let's go back to the top. Let's go back to archives. Let's go to the 11-12 season where they were last time crowned the champions. I'm not sure if it's 11-12 or was it 10-11. It's 10-11. Let's go to the 10-11 season. Let's see. The last time they were champions, they had done it with 76 points. So we're seeing a trend here that there are 70-something point team, because you look at when they were runners-up, they were sitting on 75. Now they're sitting on 76. Let's go back to the present day, who knows, if possible. Go to archive. Let's go see the present day. Let's see where they're sitting at the moment in terms of points. They're sitting on 79 points. So they've bested both those two seasons we just talked about. So let's put that away, Ominos. It's going to be a very exciting time in French football, because it's not just him. I mean, there's a boy who wears the number 9 there. There's also a boy whose name is Bamba.
David,
yeah, there's David and there's Bamba. Both those players were very key to that 3-0 win against Lens. I mean, it's a team of players who are hungry for it, that want it. I mean, like Obino said, Burak Yilmaz playing for the first time outside of Turkey, and he's definitely going to create some history outside of his native land. So it's going to be a very interesting run to the end, and let's hope that they don't slip up and let PSG take their 10th title, because PSG and Olympique Marseille sitting on 9, and if PSG get it, they're sitting level with Saint Etienne. So let's take a break. When we come back, we'll continue our journey and go talk about football elsewhere in Europe.
You're locked into Super TV. Only on OpenView, channel 150.
This is Chef Tutu. You are watching Super TV, channel 150 on OpenView.
Are you keen for some extra spending? Well, this week you can score yourself a 100 Rand Checkers or Pick and Pay voucher. How does it work? Tune into Super TV to find out which Superbet store will be giving away some vouchers this week. Get yourself to that Superbet branch on the Saturday. Place a bet of 10 Rand or more. Take your slip to the manager on duty. And to claim your prize, say the magic words. Super TV has sent me. Only 10 vouchers are available per store, so don't miss out. T's and C's apply. Super TV, your place to play.
This week's store is Commissioner Street.
Hi, my name is Mbali Masego from Blue Street Super Bets. Catch Super TV on channel 150 OpenView, your place to play.
You are watching Super TV, OpenView, channel 150.
Welcome back to Mo Sports. Now, if you're just joining us, you've missed out on half of the show already, but don't despair. We still have half of the show to come now. If you're joining us for the very first time, my name is Mo. This is OB.KNOWS, and you're tuned into channel 150 on your OpenView decoder. It's Super TV powered by Super Bets. And if you're joining us on Facebook or on YouTube, don't forget to hit the bell notification, subscribe, and leave us a lovely comment below. Now, as usual, this show does start off with a little bit of trivia, and if you're joining us just now, we need to give it to you again so you know that you can submit your answer on the following number: 071-621-4746. Well, one of our correct answers, as usual, the man who sends us all the right answers, Terence Mabope, has submitted his answer, and we'll definitely wait to see if he was right or wrong. So let's move on with the show. Let's talk about what's happening in Italian football. Like we said, the land of Icavela, I'm a beater. That's the land of it, knows. I always wonder why, when it comes to wish, we're Italian.
When it comes to Jewish, we're Italian. It's crazy. I mean, like, it's the drip. And did you know that actually crocodile skin shoes were actually an African swag before it was the Moors from Morocco?
Yeah.
They're actually the ones who came up with the concept of crocodile skin shoes. And when they went to Italy, that's when they took some of that style to Italy, and the Italians bit it from us.
No, it's not biting, because now think about it. We have crocodiles here just chilling around.
Do they have African?
On the way here,
Do they have crocs that side?
But on the way here, I was driving. You see, at the robot, I saw a crocodile. I had to wait for this thing to cross the street, because here in Africa, the crocodiles are everywhere. I'm just saying that in case, like, there's people from outside of Africa who watch. Guys, there's crocodiles everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I have a pet crocodile. His name is Snoopy. You know what I'm saying? He's just there.
Your house in Crocs.
He eats crocodile moss. No, not dog moss, but crocodile. that joke went too far. Let's talk about what's happening.
Crocodile Moors after I said something about Moors.
It doesn't add up. But let's move on. See, that's the thing. We're not funny people. We are football people. So let's talk about football. OB.KNOWS. What's happening in Italian football?
Well, the most important part of the Italian football right now is the chase for the UEFA Champions League spots. Of course, Inter Milan already having won their title right now. It's all about the 69 pointers. Right now you've got Juventus who are sitting on 69 points. You've got Atalanta sitting on 69 points, and you have AC Milan as well sitting on 69 points. So it's crazy. It's the chase for this top four. But right beneath AC Milan in that fourth spot is Napoli, who are sitting on 67. So they obviously with Gennaro Gattuso at the helm for the second season in a row. I mean, last season they finished in 7th place. Right now he's looking for something positive, which would be following the signings he's made, it will obviously be a finish on the UEFA Champions League spots. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting. They start off the weekend, the game week this weekend, and hopefully they'll be hoping that they can get the 3 points to be able to put a bit more pressure on an AC Milan side that has looked like they crumble a lot under pressure.
Well, it's one of those things. I mean, if you were South African, we wouldn't say 69 points, we say 609. So let's get to the website and let's go see what's happening with all these teams that have 609. Let's go see. So as you can see, Inter Milan sitting top of the table with 82 points, with Atalanta, Juventus, Milan all sitting on 69 points, with Napoli, the outliers, sitting on 67. Now, that means if they get their cards right and anyone above them draws, anyone dares to draw, especially AC Milan because they have a lesser goal difference than Napoli. If they draw and get 70 points and Napoli wins, then they're basically going to go up a spot and put Milan back in the Europa League spots. Be like, all right, guys, let's handle Europe. You will just watch us. And then as you can see, Lazio, Roma wrapping up that top 7. And speaking of Roma, okay, well, let me not jump the gun. Let's carry on and see who else is in the top 10. We can see Sassuolo, Sampdoria, and Hellas Verona. OB.KNOWS, can you go see the fixtures? Because I want to check something. I just want to see who's playing who, because I saw some birds telling me that Juventus are facing a whole AC Milan. And as you can see, tomorrow, that's when the last fixture is going to be Juventus versus AC Milan. Roma face Crotone, while Atalanta face Parma, and Benevento face Cagliari, while Hellas Verona face Torino, and Genoa face Sassuolo. That's all tomorrow. But today we have these few games to look forward to. Udinese face Bologna, while Spezia take on Napoli, and Inter Milan take on Sampdoria, while Fiorentina take on Lazio. I think for the longest time I called Fiorentina Florientina. I don't even know why I called them Florientina, but it was something.
I know why.
Why?
Because they team from Florence.
Oh, it's because they're a team from Florence.
So you are right.
Yeah, all I know is when you play FIFA, you learn these places by playing FIFA. They'll be like, Juventus, a team from the Alpine Mountains of Turin, and you're there alone in your couch. They just play. So it's one of those things that that's why when people think we're out in the streets, we're out.
We're out
in the house.
We're
in the Alpine Mountains of Turin. Let's carry on with the conversation because Paolo Di Canio has expressed how he feels about Jose Mourinho getting appointed as the manager of Roma. And let me not say it, let me show it to you. And OB.KNOWS, talk us through it, or should I do the honors?
Well, it's okay. I mean, Paolo Di Canio, man, the last time he did something great was when he was a player at West Ham and he scored that bicycle kick that was, really crazy. He also saved Middlesbrough from going to relegation. But this is what he's saying about the special one.
Please read in the accent.
I can't read in his accent.
I understand you need a big game, big name. I understand you need a big name at this moment, but it's not. But it's like when you sign a player who is finished. Mourinho just wanted a job with money. He's had his third sacking. It's hard to read when you think of Mourinho getting sacked 3 times in 4 years is quite crazy. Kicked out from everywhere due to the
incompatibility of his character.
It's a very strong statement. I feel like it's a very unfair statement as well. I mean, looking at where Jose Mourinho is in his career, you can't say he's washed up. You can't say it's over for him. All I'm saying is, okay, Jose, we need to be honest. If you continue down this path, you dilute a very big legacy. He really does dilute a very, very big legacy. I mean, he is the special one, and the special one should know when to quit. I mean, this is when you're at the casino, you spend one more night instead of leaving. Then you end up losing everything, and then you have to spend one more night so you can make your money back and then you end up selling your Rolex. That's basically what's happening with your boy. Because if you look at Jose Mourinho's career, I mean, looking from 2004 when he won the Champions League with Porto, went on to coach. I mean, he is the catalyst of the Chelsea we know today. He's the man we associate Chelsea of today with. I mean, till this day, Chelsea is still a sound defensive outfit because of the foundation that was laid by Jose Mourinho. He went to Real Madrid, could not achieve those brilliance, but between Real Madrid and Chelsea, he was at Inter winning the Champions League, and then, you know, he made so much history. I think where it all went wrong for me, and people will take it the wrong way, is that when he took that Man United job after being sacked at Chelsea, that's where my problem lies. Because if he didn't take that Man United job, then he would have been a whole different coach. Because even though he won a European title there, people still overlooked that and they think he stink that United was terrible. He got Tottenham Hotspurs to the final and they lost without him, but we still think he stink that Tottenham Hotspurs was terrible. So it's not the same Jose Mourinho of old. And worst part, he's in an era where there's the Jurgen Klopps, the Pep Guardiolas, the era of big name coaches. I mean,
Who studied him actually?
Who studied him? Who worked with him? I mean, he worked with Pep Guardiola at Barcelona. So I feel like the more he continues down this path, where he keeps going to places where he's already been and trying to take mid-table sides to the top, he's gonna just dilute. And I mean, if you ask anyone who's a Man United fan, especially young ones, and you say to them, Jose Mourinho, was he a good coach at your club? They'll say no.
Yeah.
But they won the Europa League with him.
They'll obviously say no, and you know that's one thing about Man United supporters, is that, you know, they are so used to winning, you know, so many trophies. I mean, they grew up in an era where, you know, Sir Alex Ferguson delivered a trophy almost every season, you know, without effort even, you know. So they're expecting that it would be the same era. And to be quite fair to Jose Mourinho, Man United will be finishing second for the first time right now since Jose Mourinho left, because he gave them the highest finish ever since, you know, Alex Ferguson left the club. So, you know, not to say that, you know, Jose Mourinho hasn't, he did a great job. I mean, the last trophy they have as well is the one that Jose won, you know. So I think it's still very much unfair, you know, to Jose Mourinho. But you know, like DiCanio is saying, you know, his manner, the way he handles people it's diluting his work, you know, because the players, and wherever he goes, he has a fallout with, you know, the important players in the team. You know, he feels like he has to impose himself a lot more on these players, and I think it works against him in a way, because if you have a team, the team, everybody knows that Barcelona, that Messi is the main guy, and if Jose comes in and fights with Messi, then, you know, it's kind of diluting, you know, the whole feel of the club, what the club is all about. And, you know, the great player at the club is no more going to be performing at his highest level, which means the club won't really perform. The same thing happened with Dele Alli, you know, at Tottenham Hotspur. So, you know, I think Jose Mourinho, he is, you know, how can I say it? He's the master of his own destruction right now, because, you know, I feel like you can't be going everywhere and fighting with the big players and expecting to win trophies and expecting to win fans over if you're fighting with the big names.
Let's go to England, because the Jose Mourinho chat in Italy is sounding it's making me sad, because when you look at a legacy that took so long to build can crumble over just 1 second. Let's move on to England. That's my bad. 3 seconds. I have more seconds than any other coach in this league. Let's move on and talk about what's happening in English football.
3.
OB.KNOWS, Tottenham Hotspurs are in action against Leeds right now. So let's go to the website, let's go to the live match tracker and see how that's going for Tottenham Hotspurs without Jose Mourinho. I mean, right now they have Ryan Mason there. He's the player's age.
Yeah.
It's that kind of setup at the team. Let's go to the website and see what's going on. I mean, if your coach is your age, you talk to him like he's your age. Change this thing you just did. Let's go back. Let's go look. Scrolling down past all these. There's a lot of football in the world. Wow.
Yeah.
Only when you're at the live match record, you see how much football is happening in the world. Just a crazy amount of football. Let's scroll up OB.KNOWS, and there we go. So Leeds are leading against Tottenham Hotspur. So second way too soon, maybe? Maybe not. Let's go see who scored the goal. Oh, Dallas scored the goal in the 13th minute. But as you can see, and they're also on a dangerous attack at this very moment. So it might be a second goal. Well, the market's just opened up, so that means something might have happened. Taking a deep breath, waiting for it. It's not a goal. It took too long. Let's go back. Let's put the website away. Let's talk about this situation right now with the top 4, the top 6 in English football. I mean, we're talking about Tottenham Hotspurs that are trying to sneak into a top 6, West Ham. There's so many names at this moment in time. But let's talk about Leicester City, the team that was sitting comfortably in it last season and then choked towards the end.
Look, Leicester City, it's disappointing to see them going through the same, thing that they went through last season. It's terrible because I do think that what they're doing right now is literally replicating that downfall from last season. So they don't look like they've learned something from last season. And as you can see on the graphic, there's the other game we'll be talking about a bit later on about Chelsea taking on Man City. But coming back to Leicester City, I think Newcastle United are a team that are really struggling themselves. But the win yesterday kind of secured them. That they'll be in the Premier League next season. So maybe Steve Bruce doesn't save his job, but most definitely he does save the club from going into relegation. But it's more important to look at Leicester City because they're replicating the same thing they did last season. And if it continues on this way, we're seeing West Ham United who are creeping in behind them, Tottenham Hotspur as well, and as well as Liverpool. I mean, they also have a game in hand. So, should Leicester City drop another 3 points, it would be, a bit of a problem for them in terms of, trying to qualify for UEFA Champions League because you've got these 3 teams who are trying to get into that spot and you're not winning your important games. So it could be a big problem for Leicester City.
All right, let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll talk about City versus Chelsea before we show you something very novel, very interesting, and very, very intriguing.
You're locked into Super TV. Only on OpenView, channel 150.
Hey, come along with you and hey, you might just make some income. Some days at work I lose at times, but mostly I win some. I like the games we play. I like for you to taste some. Hey, are you gonna join me? Some spin and win that live relate more China Fafi. Hey, no worry if your dreams are bad, they'll take you to Bali. We make those winners. We know some ballers, so come along so I can make you one. All right. Hey guys, I always get so nervous, but you know what? I'm brushing up my skills. I'm gonna get that record deal. I even forgot my flow there, but we remixed, we got it right. Thanks, mama. I had a beatboxer, guys. We're leveling up. By the time, I don't know, maybe by the end of next week, we'll have a whole entire song. Nana, yeah. I'm also still looking for my stage name, guys, so please.
You are watching Super TV, OpenView, channel 150.
Welcome back to Mo Sports. Now, if you're just joining us, well, you've come at the right time. Let's get you to the Mo riddle. Let's see if you still can submit your answer, and let's see if you know football the way you think you know football. Well, the Mo riddle today, you can read it for yourself. The number where you submit the answer is 071-621-4746. And while your phone is in your hand, don't forget to SMS Super TV to 30978. If you're joining us for the very first time, my name is Mo, and OB.KNOWS will be joining me now in the next shot when we talk about Manchester City and Chelsea Football Club. Now, both these teams in the Champions League final, but don't forget that for one, it's their very, very first time. It's a very, very first time. It's like when your cousin from the Macayas visits and you take him to Quarter of Cities. It's very, very first time. But he's telling you, Leon is up, and then next thing he's puking. But basically, it is very first time. This is Manchester City, while Chelsea have been at this stage twice before, and they've won it once themselves. So OB.KNOWS, this game is taking place in the Premier League. Not in the Champions League. City versus Chelsea taking place first in the Premier League, and then it will take place in the Champions League. Do you think that from this game we can then decide who's going to win the Champions League final?
I don't think we can really decide at this point. They can field, especially Manchester City. Today they could field, an experimental side, just because they are done with the league. Of course, Pep Guardiola, he's saying that, he wants to make sure that, he finishes the league as soon as possible. So I don't think he'll be revealing all these cards right now.
He's excited.
I think he is excited. It's a big one. It's a huge one. Chelsea themselves, they have a top 4 spot to fight for.
See how he's smiling. He's
but on the other hand, he's saying now we're close on the perch to win another league, another Premier League, and we want to do it as quick as possible. So clearly, he wants to win it right now. He doesn't want to wait until the last day of the league. He wants to do it now. So I still think we're looking forward to a very enticing game. But to say that it will determine what's going to happen in the final, I think not. I think both these coaches, both these teams have enough depth to field a bit of an experimental side. But I think Chelsea are definitely going to go for this one. Looking at the league standings, looking at the fact that Leicester also lost yesterday, they'll be trying to take advantage of that.
Obino saying a lot of things, but I just heard one thing and one thing only. These guys want to puke, guys. It's the first time in Corrib City, you don't know the anaconda, you think you know it, you're even pronouncing it wrong. Anaconda, it's not anda. Anna. So you see, Obinos, I'm telling you, I'm thinking City's gonna get there and choke. I see, okay, in the league, I think they will win it.
Oh no, Champions League, definitely.
You think they're gonna get their
Let me
choke?
say definitely. Let me
Oh,
say
okay,
definitely.
no, don't say definitely, because now people will quote us. You don't want to be trending on Twitter
Nah.
because somebody took a snippet like, hey, this guy thinks he knows football. Well, he kind of does. His name is Obi knows. He knows some stuff. But let's go on. Let's talk about the novel thing that I wanted to introduce you to. Now, if you're ready and I'm ready, I want to show you the stadium, Obi knows. Now, I want to understand because I did a little bit of reading, and apparently the reason why the stadium is this shape and this color and this animal is because the team that stays there are called the Green. No, well, you have to see the picture to understand. But in fact, you know what? I don't want to even tell you what it is. Let's guess what it is. People at home, what do you think the stadium is modeled after? Let's see it. What do you think it's modeled after? Well, Obi knows already put it there. But I thought it was like a green viper or a snake, you know.
I thought it was a green viper.
It looks more like a snake to me, like guarding its eggs or something.
Okay, like the important thing about this, to see that it's a crocodile, you have to look at the surrounding thing. You know, it's kind of like the crocodile. It's scales.
Scales, yeah.
What do you call the crocodile's hard body?
A hard body.
It's a hard body. You can see the hard body.
It's a hard body crocodile.
You can tell. You can tell. So it was interesting to me. This is Bursaspor Stadium, by the way. It's the stadium for Bursaspor team in Turkey, and it's very interesting because at first I thought to myself, but there's no crocodiles in Turkey. You know what I mean? It's not a place
the team's
where...
nickname is the Green Crocodiles.
Yeah, I get that. The mascot is also a crocodile. So it came across to me as I really need to find out why actually it's crocodiles, because there's no crocodiles in Turkey, first of all. But for the fact that that the team is named up, not the team is named after a crocodile, but rather their mascot is a crocodile, and they decided to call the team the Green Crocodiles. So then they decided to build a stadium that would intimidate the supporters before the opponents before they even get onto the field. And I thought to myself, okay, I kind of understand, especially with the mouth of the crocodile. You can kind of like see what they were trying to do with the teeth there as well. It's very interesting, and I do think it's kind of intimidating.
This whole thought process was in 2015. They were thinking there in 2015, like, yeah.
They were like, yeah, we need to intimidate our opponents. And it probably does work. I mean, Bursaspor are not one of the biggest teams in Turkey right now, but I think the way that they're trying to go about it, the way they're trying to get to the pinnacle, it's not a bad way to start, especially with trying to intimidate opponents. I mean, once you go there, you see this crocodile thing, you're fascinated by it, first of all, and you're like, well, what the hell? What's going on here? So you find you're going to be crocodile meat, you know what I'm saying?
So, here's a question for you. Since we're talking about animals right now, not football, are turkeys from Turkey?
I don't know.
All right, so that's the right answer. Let's go to the website one more time, just quickly, so we can make our bet between Chelsea and Manchester City. So we're going to go there let's get there real quick. So here we are. Let's go make our bets. Get out the live match tracker, please. Because we're not trying to mess around with Tottenham and Leeds there. Let's scroll down to Tiski. Is that Sampdoria or that's a all right, let's go to England. Let's go to Premier League. Let us go select. Now I'm giving it to Chelsea.
Give it to Chelsea.
Okay, fine. Give it to who you want.
No, it's your bet slip.
No, why are you scared also? See, your boys acting big, then they're checking out when it comes to the wire. Pick a team.
Boy, City's going to win it. Bro.
Okay, then City will win it. Put it on City.
In fact,
if
City would have drawn.
Okay, let's make it no, I give it to Chelsea. If it's going to be a draw, it's a Chelsea win.
Never.
Okay, guys, this is why you should not open Superbets accounts with your friends. SMS Super TV to 30978 on your own phone and get your account ready so you don't have these arguments when you have to make big bets. But thank you for joining us today.
I'm sure did we get any answers of who's going to win TTM or Chipa?
All right, so speaking of which, let's give you the answer to the Mo riddle, because in that same answer, someone submitted their who will win between TTM and Chipa. Let's go see what's the answer for the Mo riddle. Here it is.
Godfrey Sapula.
So both our Terence and Peño now head to head, they both correct. I'm gonna get a leaderboard for these gents because they're both right. And not only that, Peño said Obi knows that TTM will win it. Yeah.
We'll win it.
What he said? He said I think TTM will win it 2-1.
I think I support him.
All right, let's go. Okay, but we'll do it behind the scenes, as people say it.
TTM
Thank you for joining us today on Mo Sports. Don't forget, we're back again tomorrow from 1 to 2 p.m. here on channel 150 Super TV, powered by Superbets.
You're locked into Super TV. Only on OpenView, channel 150.
Got something to say? Chat to us live on air via our WhatsApp line. WhatsApp us on 071 621 4746.
Super loves. Let's go laugh. Shout to the gaming queen. Our laughs ready. Yes.